This week, Apple raised prices rather dramatically on almost every single product they sell, except one of their most popular products, the iPhone, was somehow left unscathed. Like, there was zero price increases across the entire lineup. But as great as that is right now, it might be short-lived, with the iPhone 18 Pro set to come out within the next few months, and with Tim Cook saying to expect even more price increases in the future. It is all but certain either the current iPhone on sale right now will see a price hike, or in a few months when the iPhone 18 Pro is announced, there will also be an unpleasant price hike that is announced right alongside of it. And that actually brings up a pretty timely question. Should you buy an iPhone right now, or should you wait for the features that are coming out on the next generation of iPhones? Well, to determine that, we need to look at what you might gain by waiting and see how that stacks up against the current iPhone lineup. Let's start with the iPhone 18, because I actually think this is a really easy choice if you are in the market for an iPhone right now, because this phone is rumored to have been delayed. So instead of being announced this September, it will instead be announced in the spring of 2027. So basically, you have like 6 months to wait before this phone even comes out. Right now, the rumors for this device are pretty early, but it doesn't sound like this is going to be a massive upgrade over the 17. In fact, it might have exactly the same design and the same 2 rear camera system. The only change that it might have for the design is a smaller dynamic island, but even then, it's not gonna be a huge change. Now, what the iPhone 18 will gain over the 17 is obviously a faster A20 chip and Apple's C2 cellular modem, which will likely be paired together with a slightly larger battery for increased battery life over the 17. But one of the biggest rumored upgrades for the 18 might not actually be coming, and that is an increase of memory to 12 gigabytes, which would match what is currently on the 17 Pro. That apparently is not expected anymore, with the latest report from Ming-Chi Kuo saying that Apple is planning on only adding 1 gigabyte more of RAM to the iPhone 18, resulting in a total of 9 gigabytes. Now you might be wondering, why 9 gigabytes? Why even bother adding a gigabyte of RAM to this device? Well, I assume that is the number they need to run the more advanced Siri AI capabilities that are currently exclusive to iPhones with 12 gigabytes memory. I assume they looked at the lowest amount of RAM they needed to run that. 9 gigabytes turned out to be the number they needed, and that's why it's getting 9, but they're not putting 12 in it because they're trying to save money on this device because of the RAM crisis that is currently driving the price of every single Apple product up. Now, the 17 is still going to get this new advanced Siri, but I assume the 18 with 90 gigabytes will get the more expressive Siri voice and the better system-wide dictation. But other than that, all the other Siri AI features that Apple announced should work the same on the 17 and on the 18. Now, as I said before, with the 9 gigabytes of RAM, I expect the price increase for the 18 is not going to be as drastic as it might be for the other iPhone models. I would expect, based on Apple's current pricing structure, that the iPhone 18 will probably be about $100 more than the 17. So, not a major price increase, but hey, no one wants to spend more money on a phone, especially one that doesn't sound like it's going to be a revolutionary upgrade, and considering there is still a 6-month wait for the launch of this phone. So if you are planning on upgrading anytime soon, if you are planning on upgrading before the end of the year, I would say just pick up a normal iPhone 17 right now and don't bother waiting for the 18. But first, it's almost the end of the month, and I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but you know what that means. Yeah, your rent, it's coming due. But paying your rent doesn't have to be all bad news, because you can use Built, a reward program that earns you points on your most expensive monthly purchase, your rent, or your mortgage payment if you're lucky enough to own a house. You can then use those points to get rewards for booking flights, hotels, Amazon purchases, and yes, you can even use the points you build up to redeem Apple gift cards. The Built app also has a really cool feature with their neighborhood concierge. This connects you to 45,000 partners across the country, and the neighborhood concierge can help you take actions like helping you book a fitness class, schedule a Lyft ride, get your groceries delivered, and get you access to exclusive member-only experiences. It also also learns from your preferences and your neighborhood, so it only gets better the more you use it. I recently used the neighborhood concierge to book my flight to Toronto. I told it the dates I wanted to leave and then come back, and then it found me the correct flights, saving me time doing my own research. And this is all completely free to sign up for, so there's no excuse not to start earning rewards on your rent or mortgage payment. So make sure you use my link so they know Greg sent you, and thank you to Built for sponsoring this video. What about the iPhone Air? Well, just like the regular 18, the iPhone Air 2 is also rumored to be late until spring of 2026. So again, this is going to be a longer wait for this second generation product than you would usually have. But the rumors for the Air 2 do sound more substantial than the iPhone 18. That's because the Air 2 is rumored to fix a lot of the issues that the first Air had, including adding a second rear ultra-wide-angle camera and improving battery life. Now, the battery capacity in the Air isn't set to get much larger or larger at all. The primary area where the battery life increase is supposed to come from is with an improved A20 Pro chip, which will be built on a more efficient 2nm process. And for most tasks, the processor will use less energy, thus resulting in longer battery life. Like the other iPhones for this year, it will also have Apple's new C2 cellular modem, and I imagine this will be even faster and more efficient than the C1X modem that is currently found in the iPhone Air. But the big problem for the Air 2 though, is that it will be using an A20 Pro chip with 12GB of memory. Now, normally, that's good news. You have more memory in the phone, that's a good feature to have, but yes, with this RAM shortage, one of the direct things that's currently affecting prices is how much RAM is in the product. So with more RAM in the iPhone Air 2, we can expect a bigger price hike. So unlike the iPhone 18, which I think will get a $100 price increase, I believe the Air 2 is set for a $200 price increase. That would bring the starting price, which is already high at $1,000, to $1,200, making it more expensive than the current iPhone 17 Pro. So if you were thinking about getting an Air 2 because it's gonna have another camera and it's gonna have longer battery life than the first one, I don't know. I love the iPhone Air personally. I get why you might want the thinner design with upgraded features, but if I'm judging this practically, I would say you can already get all of those features and more on the iPhone 17 Pro. I know it's thicker, I know it's not as sleek, but for the current price, you're getting 3 cameras, better battery life, better cooling. So if I'm judging it just based on the value, I would say don't get the Air 2, just go buy an iPhone 17 Pro right now. I know, I like the thinness of the Air, but you're asking me for practicality, that's my practical answer. Speaking of the 17 Pro and Pro Max, I think that is one of the biggest questions right now. Is it worth getting? Because the iPhone 18 Pro and Pro Max, these phones are right around the corner. These are the phones that are going to be released in about 2 months in September. Now, with the current iPhone 17 Pro, you're still getting a lot, right? There's nothing wrong with this phone. It has the new unibody aluminum design, it has the better thermal cooling, it has great battery life on the Pro, especially on the Pro Max model. The camera system is very versatile. This is the year that every lens got 48 megapixels, so you can take some really high quality photos and videos on this device. And the performance is great with the A19 Pro chip and 12GB of memory. You're gonna get all of the features on this phone and all of the new Siri AI features. But just like the other phones, we have to decide, okay, what upgrades are coming to the 18 Pro and will those upgrades be worth it over the current 17 Pro? And the Pro model is usually the one that receives the most upgrades. So like the 18, it's gonna get the smaller dynamic island, it's gonna get the C2 cellular modem, it's gonna get the faster A20 Pro chip, which is also gonna be in the iPhone Air, but on the Pro, the performance is gonna be even better because it does have the vapor chamber cooling system to help cool off the chip. And then on top of that, the 18 Pro is also rumored to get some exclusive camera upgrades. This includes a new 3-layer stacked image sensor that will be better for low light photography and increasing the dynamic range. And the biggest upgrade for the camera on the 18 Pro is that apparently it will have a variable aperture. Now, even though the 18 Pro is getting the most upgrades, especially in the camera department, if you look at it compared to the 17 Pro, it's still a pretty minor upgrade, especially when you consider that the 17 Pro just received a redesign last year. So the 18 Pro and Pro Max are basically gonna look exactly the same, with the only difference really being that you're getting new color choices this year, like light blue, dark cherry, and space gray. Now, of course, if this was a normal year, I would say just wait 2 more months, get a brand new iPhone 18 Pro, get all the new features at the same price point. You'd be an absolute fool to buy an iPhone 17 Pro right now. But this is not a normal year, and the price of the 18 Pro is rumored to go up. And I believe it could be pretty substantial. At the lowest, I would expect a $100 price increase to $1,200 for the base level iPhone 18 Pro. However, based on how Apple increased the price of their other products and based on a lot of the articles I'm reading right now and price expectations that are set across the board, a lot of people, and myself included, seem to think that the 18 Pro, it's gonna be the worst case scenario. It's gonna start at $1,300, and that is a $200 increase over the 17 Pro. And that means for the iPhone 17 or iPhone 18 Pro Max, it's gonna be a $1,400 starting price. It's gonna be very expensive. Now I get it. I love having the latest tech. I will be buying an 18 Pro. I will not fault you for waiting, but if you want my advice based on the perceived value of these upgrades, I would say there really is no right or wrong answer, right? Like if you want to wait 2 months and get the latest phone, you'll be paying higher. But if you plan to keep it for a long time, I totally get it. I totally get the appeal of why you'd want the latest and the greatest. But at the same time, I believe that yes, strangely enough, 2 months before the next iPhone, I can't believe I'm saying this, the iPhone 17 Pro and Pro Max are still a buy. And if you want them, I would buy before the event. I would buy them as soon as possible because we have no idea if and when Apple will raise prices on the existing iPhones before the event. And once the iPhone 18 Pro launches, Apple will not sell the 17 Pro anymore. So you won't get another chance to buy this phone if you want the lower price point. And yes, I know there's also rumors of the foldable iPhone coming at this event too, but I can't give any buying advice to people on that one because if you're prepared to spend at least $2,000, probably $2,500 for a foldable iPhone, there's nothing I can say to change your mind at this point. So Godspeed to you and to your wallet. But yes, honestly, this is a really good time to buy the current iPhone 17. I think we're going to look back at the iPhone 17 generation as one of the best valued iPhone lineups of all time, and I have no hesitation recommending buying the 17 or the 17 Pro even 2 months before Apple's next event. That is my advice. Can't believe I'm saying it. All right, I hope this video helped you out in these uncertain times. If it did, give me a like, subscribe for more, and good luck out there. I'll see you in the next one.